And welcome to Overtime on the Ice. I'm Jenna Harner, joined by Phil Bourque and Dejan Kovacevic. Guys, a rough game for the Penguins Friday night, getting smoked by the Rangers just in those first 5 minutes alone. New York goes up 3-0. But now the Penguins have a chance to kind of say, hey, we're closing the chapter on that book. We're moving forward. We see the Rangers again in just a couple days here. I guess we'll start with just the fact that you could really sense the frustration from Mike Sullivan, from Sidney Crosby, from the entire team after Friday's loss, and they weren't making excuses at all.
I like that too. No excuses at all. 3 games in 4 nights. No Evgeny Malkin. Didn't matter. They just didn't have it. They did not have it. And sometimes there's games, Dejan and Jenna, that they don't have it, and we say, okay, we flush it very quickly. This one here, you need to flush, but also you need to kind of feel that pain, but put it somewhere, and you use it as fuel down the road. You're going to play them in a few days in your own barn, chance to redeem yourself with this great, and this team will not look past the Detroit Red Wings, who you have on Sunday afternoon, because Detroit's playing some kind of hockey, and they're giving Tampa Bay Lightning all they can handle. I like that this team didn't make any excuses. I like that they realized we didn't have it emotionally, we didn't have it physically, and certainly we didn't execute the way we needed to. Give the Rangers a little bit of credit. They came out and they just went guns a-blazing, but it wasn't that far removed from what happened in the first meeting in Pittsburgh when the Rangers came out. They had 8 of the first 9 shots of the game. Tristan Jarry was off the charts good. They didn't score. The Penguins settled themselves, and they ended up getting the Evgeny Malkin goal, which ended up being enough for that. But the Rangers are for real. Shesterkin's for real. But the Penguins, they're gonna flush this one, because you can't wallow in it, because you got to get ready for the next one. But also you need to remember that feeling and don't want it to happen again the rest of the season.
You know, there's a lot of technical stuff that goes into these two. It's not always intangibles. Everyone's going to focus on intangibles afterward. But Sullivan, Mike Sullivan, after the game in New York, you know, gave real specifics, and so did Evan Rodriguez, about stuff that they didn't do. Sidney Crosby had a few to mention as well. And these types of losses, while they are awful in the moment, make for wonderful teaching opportunities for the coaching staff, and they make for wonderful leadership opportunities for the captain of the hockey team and other people who are in there, because now they can take little things in the game that might have been creeping in, like what we saw in Buffalo, you know, where we weren't really sure what to make of the Buffalo game, because
we got a point, right, Dan? You know, we got a point. Maybe didn't deserve a point.
We fought back and got in there, and if only, well, everything that went wrong in Buffalo was put on a big old stage in New York, and everyone went, oh, okay, this is cool. We can just score goals. The Rangers did again and again and again. This is a great chance for this group, for this talented, terrific, deep group, to step back and remember how it is that they perform when they beat the best teams in the Metro, the best teams in the Eastern Conference, which they've done time and again this year, and almost always in the exact same way. They need to get back to it. And you know what? Tuesday night, with Ben Roethlisberger being recognized and all the towels going and everything else here, how about that night?
We talk about MSG being a great atmosphere.
Oh, no just doubt. Wait.
You know, one other quick thing, Jenna, that I really liked. You know, a lot of coaches, they just say, we didn't have it tonight. He also said, we get outcoached. Not many coaches will do that. So not only is he pointing the finger at his players, the thumb is also pointing at himself and his staff. Mike Vellucci, Todd Reardon, the whole group. They said, we got outcoached. So not only is he challenging his players to be better, he's challenging himself and his coaching staff. I really like that.
That did jump out.
Yeah, taking ownership in just a fantastic way, and that's one of the reasons why this franchise, this organization, is who they are. We'd be remiss, of course, without talking about the newest addition. We'll do this a little bit quickly, but Rickard Rakell, officially a Penguin. I mean, Bourque, you called it.
I got lucky. You know, but this was my guy. This was the guy I was hoping we could fit. So great job by Hexie and Bourque to bring in Rickard Rakell. Rax, they call him. A right-hand shot that likes to play the left side, but won't be exclusively on that left side. And I'd love to see Jason Zucker come back healthy, get back to his scoring ways, and be on the left side with Evgeny Malkin and Rax on the right side. From what I understand, he's got a great personality, and that's always an intangible you never really know about. This is a tight-knit group, so you don't want to bring in a guy that might be an oddball or a guy that's just not going to fit. Rax fits in perfectly. He's physical. He can finish. And he's a guy that's probably really hungry to get to the postseason.
You know what else I liked about him, Phil? This applied to all three of the games that he played, is if you put him on a rod hockey table, he's not leaving the area of the rod.
Likes to go north?
How about that?
Yeah.
Huh? And as opposed to north-south, people say north-south. See, I think of Kasperi Kapanen when I think of north-south because he goes north, then he goes south. I want north, okay? And you saw a lot of that from Raquel, and you saw it whether he was, to Phil's other point here, whether he was on the left or the right side. He seems like the same player on either wing, and that is a rare trait in and of itself. What we haven't seen yet, and again, it'd be nice if he has a chance to, find himself a room, take a nap, and maybe practice with the team more than once. But what we haven't had a chance to see yet, although it's really there, is the release that he has. The ability that he has to drop back into the slot or into soft areas in the offensive zone. I feel like that's something that you see, Phil, with the Carolina guys, the first line guys, you know what I'm talking about, Aho and so forth, where they just kind of just drift back and they're like, hey, who left that guy open? The Penguins have really lacked that. Jake does it, but really you don't have a whole lot of players that do that sort of thing. That's a threat in and of itself.
The anticipation building, no doubt. I know so many people, including I think all of us, waiting to see him and Evgeny Malkin on the same line for the decent majority of a game and see what those two, hopefully Kasperi Kapanen or as well as Jason Zucker when he returns, what that line can create.
Or Danton Heinen. Let's not leave out Heinen.
Or Danton Heinen too, to see what they can create and just how they're going to be able to generate offense and that scoring ability we keep talking about this team needing. Well, that'll do it for us on Overtime on the Ice. Have a great one.